most of the people in the boutique guitar industry are not what I would call business people. As a matter of fact, they actively try not to be business people because there's some sort of they don't the businessman is associated with the man, that whole sort of conformity bit, and there's a bit of a non-conformity aspect that drives guitar making, and so everyone must wrestle with this artisan and the idea that, well, the artisan needs to make money, otherwise the artisan has to be a barista who makes guitars on the side, or something else. And so this is a real struggle. But when I give examples of people who have done a good job in our industry, who, when I speak to them, I don't need to gently guide them around the concepts of business so they feel comfortable with it. Chris signed that list, you're on that list, Sheldon Dingwall, a few others, people who can be a great artisan and also fully understand their responsibilities as a business person. You've had more than 2,500 luthiers, if we want to call them, come through your school at this point in time. Many of them are very successful, like Michael Greenfield, Isaac Jang, Megan Wells, Tyler Wells, and many others. But what do you think this is that is this denial of the fiscal responsibility, and why we don't want to fully engage in the business aspect as artisans? As a matter of fact, I'll cap this off saying I saw an Instagram post the other day of someone made a funny posting that talked about being a guitar maker is like 20% making guitars and 80% crying about your financial situation. And it got a lot of likes. A lot of people said, "Oh, I feel you, brother." So what is that? What do you think that is? Or do you think I'm nuts? Do you think that's not true? Or
I live in a unique situation, and that is I am lucky enough to be a part of a team. And I'm good at coming up with ideas, and I'm good at seeing trends, and I very much enjoy going out and being a part of it. But Gene, who works at the shop with me, I've always been lucky enough to be involved with somebody that I can collaborate with. So taking care of business.
That's not luck. You saw after that person, you put them in place, probably because you
let me
use it.
Let me use the word fortunate then. But it was definitely a chosen thing. Some people might be good at all of that, but I completely recognize the part of knowing that it's time to put somebody in charge of that who can take care of that correctly.
Yeah.
Being a part of a great team and running a good business, even in a small setup like I have, I think we have 9 employees all told. That doesn't necessarily have to be all that hard, and I think people can be terrified of that a lot. They just need to expose themselves to that end of it. But let's talk about Michael Greenfield. Michael Greenfield was a very successful restaurateur, in the beginning, and he actually had a gig where he consulted and went in and turned restaurants and lines around. So moving into that portion of the business for him was obviously very good. Look at what he does. But I do hear the people who are true artists, but also choose to work alone, and they make noises about that.
Yeah.
So I can't identify that 100%. Remember that I'm not a sole builder. I did do that at one point in my life. And I had an instrument that came in recently, and I was quite surprised at how good it was and that I had built it. So it reminded me that I did that at one point in my life. But now it's a multifaceted situation. We have the school, we have the guitars that we make, we have the software, and I think that my business part of that and my entrepreneur is balancing all of that successfully. The team looks to me for ideas, and then in turn we feed back on each other. So that's the portion of it that I find rewarding and easy for me, if that answers the question. I can do that, and that made sense to me.
Thank you for watching and listening. You can find more episodes wherever you listen to your podcasts, and a special thanks to those who support us on Patreon. It's your support that enables us to do this work.